Neil gave up football, it said, to pursue other interests. Why?
Well, I think the other interest may have been his girlfriend, actually, the young lady shown in the film.
Would that be enough for him to give up football? Wasn't he? Was he a quarterback, or was he?
Well, he wasn't a quarterback. No, he was captain of the team. But I think after 3 years, I think he had enough of football. But he's also involved in the school newspaper. He wanted to pursue and is pursuing a degree at Purdue in computer graphics.
So, couldn't you have easily picked somebody in the United States at Carmel who's studying violin and somebody in China who's playing soccer?
No, because they don't have inter-school sports in China.
None at all?
None at all.
How about India?
None in India at all.
Do you like that idea?
I think I think they do play sports. I mean, they play, like what we call physical education back when you and I were in school, and they kick the ball around, but it's not year-round training. It's not 12 and 13-year-olds doing weight training. I don't know if you saw the article in the New York Times about front-page article about the 12-year-old who had a torn ACL, had to have an operation that they normally don't see until college or professional athletes, and a year later he's back in weight training trying to get back into shape so he can get back into sports. What's the point of that? I meet Indian families. I've had several Indian parents ask me, every year we read in the Bangalore News or the Mumbai paper about 2 or 3 boys dying in America from heat stroke from two-a-day football games. Why do American parents kill their children over sports?
Did you ever play sports?
I did. I got cut from the football team the first time, but I did make it in my senior year of high school. Yeah. But we didn't do year-round weight training. I didn't have a speed coach. I didn't go to football camp. We have taken sports in this country at the very youngest age. I mean, from 8, 9 years old to a level of competitiveness that was unheard of when I was growing up, and as a result, you're spending more and more time on athletics. There's only 2 million minutes. Everybody has that 2 million minutes, and it's how you allocate that 2 million minutes. And yes, at Carmel, we did have students that played violin and did the other things. And you know what? They were Indian and Chinese students. And I didn't want to make the whole film about Indian and Chinese students. So I felt Neil and Brittany were very much representative of the high-achieving, bright leaders in high school.
What would you credit your own success to?
Well, I will tell you the things I did extracurricularly. I was not a great student, but I was involved in Boy Scouts, and my parents were very involved. Both my brother and I were very involved. I went all the way through Eagle Scout, became an Explorer Scout. Through the Explorers, got my pilot's license, and then went to IBM, which had a great training program, which today doesn't have that anymore. Times have changed. You don't have those great training programs. And I really got inspired at Harvard Business School by Professor Bill Salmon, who in 1984 was one of the 2 professors of entrepreneurship. Today they have 27 full professors of entrepreneurship. But Bill introduced me to the whole concept of creating value and how wealth is created and how companies are created and how products are created and ultimately how jobs result from that. And so it was, and I have had a series of mentors along the way.
I know this is a hard, maybe impossible to answer, but how successful financially have you been?
I've been very successful.
And where did you have your most success?
Well, what I have been good at is identifying talented people with a great idea, and then helping them, then capitalizing their business, and then helping them grow their company. So I've invested in 40 companies over the last 25 years. I've had a number of them go public, one of which I actually went on to run as president and chief operating officer. It was the largest orthopedic spinal company in the world.
How long did you do that?
I served on the board for 10 years and ran the company for 3 years, and then Medtronic acquired us for $3.7 billion. But we grew the company to $400 million in revenue. And I can tell you an interesting fact in that I had 600 sales reps around the world. My very best sales reps all had engineering, science, or mathematics undergraduate degrees. And all I had to do was teach them to sell. The ones who didn't have the technical degrees, I had to teach them to sell, and I had to teach them to talk about biomechanics, genetic engineering, because we sold very high-tech products. And these are the products of the 21st century. And if you don't have that solid base of math and science, I think across every industry, you're not going to be able to perform at the highest level you could.
This is a 54-minute documentary?
Yes, it is.
Who do you want to watch this?
Well, I would like every parent and teenager and middle schooler in America to watch it. Now, the Gates Foundation has seen the film and is, through their Education in 08 program, is flying me around the country to screen in the primary states. I have met and screened part of the film for Senator Obama and for Senator McCain, and talked to them about the issue, because the Gates Foundation wants to get it on the presidential agenda, get education higher on the agenda. Really, if you think about it, education drives our whole economy. If we have a highly educated workforce and a motivated workforce and people who have high skills in technology, we can have a vibrant economy. So strategically, it's really our most important investment. And so they want to get that higher on the agenda. I've been working now with several governors. I've been working with the governor of Indiana, the lieutenant governor of Colorado, starting to take that down into the gubernatorial level, down to the mayoral level, and ultimately this needs to go into every community, because each community needs to think about, they need to see the film and see who their children are going to be competing against in the 21st century, and then decide for themselves. Maybe we're fine. Maybe playing a lot of football and having a tailgater on Friday and binge drinking in college, maybe that is salvation in the 21st century. I don't believe it.
Here's 3 more minutes of your documentary.
Okay.
You have anything with you? Yeah. I'll have one more, man. I think I'm going to do that. Later on tonight,
I work at Fazoli's, and I've worked there for, I'm just going to say, a year and 9 months. So I'm one of the longest working employees there. Pay's not that great, but it's decent, and I enjoy the people I work with, and it's not terribly difficult work. So.
$1 there. You like to put your name on there? Yeah, you write your name on there.
$8.52. We talk a lot about whether American kids work enough, devote themselves to things enough. American kids actually work a lot. What we're really talking about is the distribution of time. When children play sports, they dedicate a lot of time to those activities. When a teenager has a part-time job, that young person is working hard. And so we should never forget that young people and Americans, in fact, do work hard. So it's a question of distribution of activity and effort.
When I talk to parents and I talk about how much Chinese students study, how long the school year is, how many hours they study, and so on, you get a mixed response. Some parents agree with it absolutely, and again think we're not asking enough of our students, and that's doing them a disservice, because then they won't be as prepared as they need to be. And other people are very concerned about that. They don't want more homework because they either want their students to be able to work after school or participate in a range of other activities.
So I think the issue is not that Americans are not so smart, or our high school education is so terrible we can't do this work, or our college thing is so bad. We're actually pretty flexible